James Isaac Haven. Growing up Hispanic, we always seen or had paintings of the Last Supper. I have a pendant of the Last Supper. Is it wrong to wear it? A good question.
Yeah, it is.
Good question. Let me turn you to. Let's go to Deuteronomy and let's start at 15. Deuteronomy 4:15. The most classic answer is probably Exodus 20. I think it's verse 4. I'm not going to go there actually this time, but I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 4:15. And he says here, therefore take good heed to yourselves, since you saw no form of him on the day the Lord spoke to you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire. Beware, lest you become corrupt by making for yourselves to worship graven image in the form of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, or of any winged fowl that flies in the air, the likeness of anything that creeps on the ground, or of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. And beware, lest you lift up your eyes to the heavens, and when you see the sun, the moon, the stars, even all the hosts of heavens, you be drawn away and worship them and serve them, things which the Lord your God has allotted to all nations under the whole heaven. Now, you may say, what are you saying to me? I don't understand the answer. Here's the answer. John 4:23. John 4:23. He says, but a time is coming and is already here when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit, from the heart, the inner self, and in truth. For the Father seeks such people to be his worshipers. God is a spirit, the source of life, yet invisible to mankind, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Here's the point here. You can wear whatever you want to wear around your neck that resemble God. This is not a problem. The problem we find is that when it becomes worship, and this is why I read verse 19 when he says, and beware lest you lift up your eyes to the heavens, and when you see the sun, the moon, the stars. Now, we all have to see the sun at some point in time. We all have to see the stars. I ain't got to wear it around my neck, but I got to see it, and I got to see the moon. He's putting that in the same category as a graven image. And so when we have like a cross or something like that, what typically happens is people begin to worship the object. They begin to worship the object more than what the object represents, or instead of what the object represents. We shouldn't worship the object at all. We feel more comfort by holding a cross in our hand than having Christ in our hearts. This is a problem. That's right. Good. And so the point that's being made here is, no, it's not an issue to have a painting. I mean, not something I would do personally, but have a painting of the Last Supper, sure. As long as we continue to respect it as only representative of the Last Supper and not exactly the Last Supper. I know people that kneel down in front of, Last Supper and talk to the Last Supper, talking to. Watch me and pay attention. Talking to the cross. Watch this right here. You say, what's wrong with that? They're talking to the cross, not the one who died on it. So now the object that represents Christ has now become the object of their faith. But the cross represents Jesus. And so if I'm wearing something around my neck, a pendant, whatever the case may be, and as long as that pendant continues to lead me back to Christ and I don't get stuck at the cross, you understand? I don't get stuck in that place, and it's just a representation. If you think about it, James Isaac Havens, consider this. That would mean that anytime we wear anything, that's any symbol at all that represented Jesus, even if we had a shirt on our, even if we wore a shirt that really said Jesus saves, and I start worshiping the shirt. I need my shirt, man. You said it don't make sense. Don't pay attention to what the shirt is saying. That's where you're getting lost at. Pay attention to what the church represents to the person. So the person says things like say me and Mr. Dad's about to go ministry. Man, Man, I can't measure this unless I got my Jesus Saved shirt on. I'm serious. I ain't going nowhere. But I couldn't find my Jesus Saved shirt, man. You got to go it out.
Yes, sir.
That means you're worshiping the shirt.
That's good.
That's an issue.
Yeah.
Not what the shirt represents. That's the problem, right? So it's only when the bottom line is only when we begin to worship what the very thing is that we represent. Keep it in mind, people. We're everyday preachers answering everyday questions. We are right back at you.